This week's going to be a little bit special in this video. We're going to get to give you that behind the scenes peek at what a day in the life looks like here. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to building trucks to make sure that things are compliant with the government, things are tested up to our standards, the usability. So Theron is grabbing his camera, following Jen and Randy in their compliance testing, in with the engineers to make sure that the things we have built are safe and lasting. So let's get into looking at these seats. This one fared well.
Hi everyone, we're doing more testing with Randy, who is our testing engineer. Randy, what are we doing today?
Okay, this test today, it's part of the compliance testing. What we're trying to show is that the trucks Edison is building are all compliant with the motor vehicle safety standards. In Canada, administered by Transport Canada, there's probably for these trucks, I think there's about 22, maybe 24 different standards we have to show compliance with. Things like windshield wipers, braking, headlights, and this is for seating. And we're actually doing a couple tests in one. Right now, today, we're doing CMVSS 207, that's the anchorage of seats. So we're looking at it supporting a rearward load. And tomorrow what we'll do is we'll turn it around and we'll do a forward load. But at that same time, we'll do testing for CMVSS 210, which is seatbelt anchorages. So we'll do actually a double test. Seat belts off of the seat itself. So it's got a hold for the seat test. It's 20 times the weight of the seat. It's about a 150-pound seat. So we're going to be testing 3,000 plus a little bit. We'll give it a little 5% extra or something just to make sure. So it's just a straight pull in the rearward direction. Got the seat mounted on just a sample of flooring. This is the configuration that you'd find in the truck. So that's the test we're going to do today. We're on it's just a simple test frame. What this is designed, we can take a truck cab mounted on this frame. It's got an upright section there with adjustable cross members, so we can hang hydraulic cylinders at whatever height we need. Like a cab might have 3 seats. We could pull on the seat from the lower one, and then the higher one we'd actually pull on the seat belt. So we probably reach in the cab with 3 hydraulic cylinders to pull on 3 seat belts at a time. We're only going to be doing one. This installation, the passenger seat is a mirror image, so we only have to do one test, and that's good for both sides. It's good.
Passed.
That was it.
Is that passed?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we took it up to 3,150 odd pounds. It was actually about 3,170. We needed 3,000. 5% of that is under 50 pounds, so I took it up to 150 over. So we were at 3,150 for 10 seconds. And it's a happy day because you can't tell. So it looks like we didn't even do any work. So now we move on to the next.
Just here to remind you guys, worked super hard on this. Investment is now reopened. Very exciting. We worked on an offer memorandum. So if you're interested, go to our website, edisonmotors.ca, under investing. There you'll find all the information as well as links to platforms. Thanks so much for your support. Back to the show.
Today we're doing a combination of tests. We're completing the seat testing, seat and seatbelt anchorages. So in this case, we've got the seatbelt anchorages are on the seat. So we have to test the seatbelt at the same time as the seat. So the seat itself, it's got to hold 20 times its weight like we did in the rearward test. So we're going to do 20 times the weight of the seat. It's 3,000 pounds forward. And then the seat belt, it's a type 1 belt, which is just a lap. It takes a 5,000 pound pull. A type 2 belt, shoulder harness and lap belt gets 3,000 pounds on each. We're just doing the one. We only need to have a type 1 belt in these trucks. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to take the slack out, get everything set up, and then we'll actually go into the pull. It's interesting that we use the same standard for passenger cars and trucks, no matter what the weight is. In Europe, they recognize that when you get to heavier trucks, for instance, over 10,000 pounds, thereabouts, they start reducing the load on the test load on seatbelts to the point where you finally get up to a Class 8 truck, the equivalent of Class 8 truck. They're only testing the seatbelt load test load is only going to be about 1,500 pounds. So they understand, and well, they understand it here too, but they've actually put that in their legislation. So if they're recognizing the fact that if you're in a crash with a heavier vehicle, you won't experience the same G-forces, so the same decelerations that you would with a small car. So that is kind of representative in all of the Canadian Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. Anything over 10,000 pounds, we don't have to do crash testing. We don't have to do side impact for doors. We don't have to do a whole bunch of things destructive testing that we would with a passenger car. So one of the things that they recognize is that you don't need all that safety. They say we don't have to have a shoulder harness for a heavy truck. A lot of users like it. Different companies, they offer it because a lot of drivers, a lot of corporations, operators would like to have the second, the Type 2 belt. So, which is good, guys. When you're trying to move around in a truck, looking around a lot, especially on rough roads, it's always locking up. And you can't lean out to look behind your truck and this kind of stuff. So for this type of application, it's actually probably better to have just a lap belt. Got an issue of some sort. I'm not happy with the way that's failing.
Yeah. It failed?
Well, not yet, but this is, the seat adjustment is gone. Well, the tether straps are holding. Well, maybe we continue.
What is it that we have to look for to break if it fails?
Well, what's likely going to happen is the tether straps will snap. Right now, it looks like just the scissor lift inside has failed, which isn't too serious, but okay, we'll carry on. Oh. That's it.
I assume that's a fail.
That's, yeah.
Maybe we got it.
It did for a split second, but it's got to hold for at least 10 seconds. Yeah. So they both went. Shoot. If we can come up with a bracket, even that's welded on here, that comes up.
Yeah.
With a gusset and just get it up.
So the failure could be how we have it mounted?
Yeah, these straps, the tether straps, were at quite a steep angle. So they're really, and they were taking a lot of load right at the beginning. And I didn't see whether that one went first or this one, but this one went first and then it rotated.
Yeah, even 45 is really.
Technically, it's
Well, 45 is the ideal
12.4 inches from.
because you're
the
supposed to
bottom of
have,
the seat
you know,
and
it's up, the
28
that
inches.
tether strap is 11 inches high. Yeah, we're supposed to have 12.4 back.
Yeah, that's what they but if we look at which way the loads are going, it's that direction. So really, if it was flat, that'd be the least load.
Yeah.
Now these are bent, you know, so it comes up at about a 60-degree angle or something. Looks like what's happened, the very first bang we heard was part of the scissor mechanism on either side broke. And it's you know, it's just a flat bar with a you know, it's a lug with a hole in it, and it's just a failure tear out, and the bolt on both sides pulled out, and that was why the seat fell down on its front to begin with. And then all the load was put into these straps, which should have been all right at this angle, but I guess not quite. Probably reposition the straps, hoping that'll help. This is round 2 of the forward direction, so seat belt and seat anchorage test. For those who noticed last time around, we had a slight failure. Turns out the seat is actually about 50 pounds lighter than what the manufacturer said. When we did the last test, we were actually pulling on it far too heavy. The manufacturer gave us the wrong information. We thought the seat was 150 pounds and it was only 100 pounds. So we're looking at 20 times the weight. 20 times 150 is 3,000 pounds. It's actually about 100 pounds, just a little over. So the load we'll put on it was only about 2,000 pounds. So that extra 1,000 pounds that it didn't need to support, it actually did for a brief while, like 0.3 of a second. And then it failed, but we were far over the required loading. So this time we'll use the correct loading. We've weighed the seat and found out that it's much lighter, and we'll use the appropriate loads on it. So this test we're pretty sure is going to pass.
Was it still a fail, even though we went way over and it broke?
Technically, we didn't support the loads we needed for the required length of time. You know, because when I'm loading it, when we're doing the testing, you know, we're balancing between the seat load and the seat belt load, and we didn't ever get the seat belt load to the 5,000 pounds. The seat load was too high, but the seat belt load hadn't reached its required. So we technically didn't do it for the required length of time. The total loading was way over what we needed, but it really has to be the according to the test standard, it really has to be, you know, the correct 5,000 pounds on the lap belt, and in that case, it should have been like about 2 on the seat. We were at 3, so bad luck. I should have paid more attention and actually weighed the seat myself instead of relying on the manufacturer, I think. So, we'll do it again. We're very happy. We know it's stronger than it needs to be, so we should be good for this test. There it is. Okay. Hooray! So it was good. Everybody's happy now.
1 down, 30 to go.
Yeah. You betcha. For the kids who wonder, this is the most fun job in the world. I get to break stuff for a living. But we've had a little bit of damage on the seat, and that's not unusual at all. Things bend. It can bend as long as it's supporting load. So even if the seat is hanging down like this, it's still held the required loads. It's still good. We wouldn't ever use it again. You know, the seat is garbage after this, but you know that the occupant is going to be restrained. So that was the whole plan here, is to show that it would hold a big tubby guy like me in a 20G crash, and that's what it did.
It passed that test. you give it 5% over for...
Yep, extra 5%, just because, you know, maybe next week they want us to have a seat that's just a wee bit heavier. It's got a, who knows what, a heater in it or a vibrating pad or whatever, so it makes the seat heavier. So we've done it a little bit high. Now we've got a little bit in the back pocket, so if there's a design change down the line, we can accommodate that without having to retest.
How many more tests are there?
On this one?
Sure.
Okay, we're done with this. This seat installation now meets everything. So we don't need to do any more tests on this seat in that truck. If we look at different seats, and we're back to a new test, if the floor changes that we're bolting to, then that would mean retesting as well. But for this particular installation, that's all we need to do.
All right, so that is a day in the life of the testing that the guys do around here. It's all the important stuff, but it's nice to see that basically all the engineering and time that went to, oh, why am I doing the outro?
You want to lift with your back.
It's Canada, we gotta help. It's broken in half. Hey, hold on, I'll just break it. Yeah, so day in the life of testing here, and super important. I'll throw this in there in a minute. But yeah, these are all these things that it's great to find out that a lot of the engineering and design and everything that went into building these trucks passes it. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this in the future, that kind of behind the scenes. These guys are going to be busy for the next few months testing everything, but yeah. Yay! Get in there. Yeah, testing's going good. Really happy with how the guys are doing in there. On to the next project.